Welcome to the first episode and pilot of Hacking Happiness. I'm your host, Ghost Rats, and today I'm really excited to start this podcast. Honestly, I started to do some mental health awareness stuff in the other podcast toward the end of it, and I just want to dedicate a podcast toward mental health and positive messages and for anybody that suffers with anxiety and depression. And the way I'm going to format these podcasts, I'm thinking I'm going to stick with a topic. So today, the topic I'm going to be choosing is value. And what is value? I'm going to break into it a little bit, but that like things like that, that's how I'm going to do these podcasts. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future podcasts. So let's start. So today's topic is going to be value and what is value and how should we view value. And I know everybody looks at things like money and gold and diamonds and say, oh, that's very valuable. But I am going to challenge that perspective a little bit before we break into self value and worth. And even before I get into that, I want you to know right off the bat that you are valuable. You are important. You are good enough. And understand that there's going to be a lot of things out there that push you in the different direction that make you believe that you're not good enough and you're not valuable. But I'm here to tell you that you are valuable. So I just want to get that right off the bat. But I want to shake the perspective of how most people view value. So, but just say gold, for example. I just want to give you a perspective of how weird the world actually is, right? Gold, money, diamonds, all these shiny things. Why are they so valuable? What gives them the value? Is it because somebody agreed that, hey, this thing is shiny and it looks cool, so this thing must be valuable? Oh, this one's bigger than that one, so this one's more valuable than that one. So in perspective, if you didn't eat for a full week and you were dying of starvation, and somebody had a diamond the size of your car, and they said this is all yours, or you can have this sandwich or this piece of pizza, you're gonna grab that pizza over that diamond that's the size of your car, because that rock doesn't serve any purpose for you beside it looks nice. Even gold, we're so wrapped up in gold and money, and what does it really do? Like if everything hits the fan, like at the end of the day, you're gonna be trading for goods like food and medicine and things that actually have value. I mean, if I had a cookie and you're starving, you would give me your life savings just so you wouldn't starve to death. And this is where that perspective of value is. What do we really, why do we value all these materialistic things? Why do we need such a big house? Why do we need such a fancy brand new car? I mean, at the end of the day, all cars really are just shapes of metal molded in certain shapes. Like if I had an Aston Martin and a Toyota, I mean, there's still metal things on wheels. I mean, granted, one looks nicer than the other. The metal bent a certain way, and they have certain parts inside. But the main purpose of it is to get me to point A and point B. And you can't even speed in these cars. Like, why would you get this high performance car with 800 horsepower and you only can go 60 mile an hour on the highway? Where do we get this weird concept of we need the best of everything? And people's values are the definition of value and what really matters, people just, it's so skewed because we're told so much. Even the music that we listen to, it's oh, you're all about having money and cars, and it's just they're promoting the things that only the 1% have. It's not even relatable. So then you start to ask yourself, all right, well, that's not valuable. What is? Well, love, your salvation, your character, you, and your life. I mean, we're only given one life, and you don't know when your time is up, and the time is valuable. I mean, that's the stuff that really matters. You could work your whole life and have millions of dollars and have everything you ever wanted and I would wish and ask for, and you can't take it with you when you die. I mean, the Egyptians tried doing it, but the only thing that happened to them, they were robbed. They had the grave robbers and stuff like that. Why do we value these materialistic things? And a lot of it's because we've just been told and brainwashed to consume, be consumers, consume, consume, consume. We're part of this rat race. We work our whole lives just so we can retire at an old age to have a little bit of money and to just basically die comfortably. Like, you give the best years of your life to a company or corporation or business, and it's just a weird concept, right? Like, that's your whole life. And now I'm gonna start to get into like how we value ourselves. Why do you feel like you don't matter? And why do we constantly try to impress other people that don't care about us? Like, you buy a nice car and you drive it down the street, and you think everyone's gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, look how nice this guy's car is," and but it has nothing to do with you. The car it doesn't define your character. I mean, then some people look at it and be, "Oh, that guy has a high car payment." Like, it's like it just there's some, and then you get the negative response, and then you're sitting there like, "I got this big car bill. I wanted to impress all these people. Nobody really cares. I thought it'll make people like me." And then, do you really want people to like you because of the things you have, or like you because of who the person you are? Like, what do you really want people to do? I mean, I would rather have somebody that likes me for who I am than like me for the things I have. And where do we get this weird skewed perception of success has to be somebody that's really strong, has all this money and all these houses and all these cars? What about the person that sacrifices themselves and everything they have for the ones that they love? Like, what about the fathers that dedicate all their time for their kids and put their families first, that wake up in the morning and drive miles and face the same traffic every single day and deal with the same miserable people and bosses at work and do the thing repetitively every day so that their kids can just have a mouth to feed or go to their dance practices or whatever things that are going on in their family that they support? I mean, what about those guys? What about that? Like, the hero that cares and loves for other people, that went out of their way and bought the person behind them in line a cup of coffee, or donated some money to the homeless, or volunteers their time to make something better, or just be there for somebody, or just to share knowledge with somebody else without and to give something without wanting or expecting anything in return. Like, these are beautiful and valuable things. And a lot of us get caught up with we tell ourselves lies, or we had bad experiences in our lives that make us feel worthless, or we don't feel like we're good enough. Maybe we didn't have parents that told us that they loved us enough. Maybe we didn't have, or we had a bad experience and we got hurt. Somebody hurt us and it made us feel worthless, or people left us, or we've been alone, we've been cheated, we've been lied to, and then you start to believe that maybe it's you, like maybe it's you're the problem, and that's not the case. That's not the case. But you tell yourself a lie that, oh, I'm not good enough, or it's because I did this, or maybe I didn't do this better, I could have done this better, and you start to tell yourself these lies and over and over and over again. It's only a matter of time until your brain makes those neurological connections, and it's just easier for you to think negatively, and then now you get caught in this state of depression because you're always doubting yourself and always doubting just everything around you, and because you're just stuck in that way of thinking, and it takes a long time to break that way of thinking. Even when you say, oh, I want to become more positive, it's hard because your brain defaults to negative. And it's because we allowed ourselves to listen. I mean, it's not really our fault, but at the end of the day, it's like you got to tell yourself, like, I am good enough. Keep telling yourself that I am good enough, and then it can reverse the damage that we've done to ourselves. Because you are, and the thing, and you're valuable. I mean, you have no idea what an impact you make on other people's lives. You really don't. Just you giving a smile to some stranger, or just being just one little tiny act of kindness, can save somebody's life. And not to be like that drastic, but it can be that drastic. You think about the people that you help every single day. Like, what about the people you talk to or you're there for? I mean, you're valuable to them, your family, the people that love you. I mean, even friends. You give purpose. You have purpose. You have purpose. Stop lying to yourself. Stop letting these bad voices, these negative thoughts, intrude on your happiness and your well-being. Because it's true. You are not a mistake. You're not a mistake. So I'm a Christian, and I know that God doesn't make mistakes. So if you're saying that you're a mistake or you're not good enough, that means you're saying God, you made a mistake, and that's not it. So you're perfectly and wonderfully made. You're a beautiful person, and you just got to start to believe in yourself a little bit more. You got to surround yourself with more positivity. Surround yourself with positive people. If you have people that are constantly negative and you're constantly around them, that not helping you, it's not worth keeping around. You don't have to settle. Again, you're valuable. So I'm going to say something. So let's say there's $100 bill. I have $100 bill in my hand, and you would agree that that $100 bill is worth $100. Now, I took that same $100 bill and I stepped on it. I crushed it. Now I picked it up. Is that $100 bill still worth $100? Even after I stepped on it and spit on it and crumpled it up, that's still $100. All right, let's say I take that $100, I spit on it, stepped on it, throw it in the trash can, threw it in a lake, and then I end up spitting on it more, and I rubbed it against a tree, and I stepped on it in mud, and then I bring up that same $100 bill, and is this still worth $100? Yeah. So you might get stepped on, punched, and kicked, and lied to, and hurt, but you're still worth. Like, it doesn't change the value of you. If anything, it makes you stronger. Like, your pain and your experiences makes you who you are, and it's necessary for growth. Like, you can't grow if you're complacent and everything's good in your life. So, and the pain is valuable. Like, embrace it, and embrace the bad times, because those learning moments are very valuable. I mean, we don't have that much time on earth to grow, and so like, if these pain and bad times and these painful moments mold us, and we have a lot more than other people, like, we're just getting pushed harder than other people. Don't look at that. Don't look at it as a bad thing, and never devalue yourself. I'm telling you that you mean a lot to someone. You mean a lot to somebody out there. If it's not your kid, your kids, your spouse, or whoever it is, you mean a lot to somebody else, and you have so much value, and you're a beautiful being, and you're loved, and you are loved. Your Creator loves you. Jesus loves you, and the people that you know that I'm talking about love you. And I'm sure we don't have all perfect lives, and we've been told that we're not good enough. I was told multiple times growing up that I wasn't going to make it through grade school, and I'm not good enough for this, and I'm not good enough for that, and I didn't really have a father that understood ADHD and dyslexia, and he just wasn't like a loving person in general. So it would have been nice to hear more. I'm proud of you, son. I love you, son. Um, but I grew up doubting myself and saying that I'm just not worth it. I'm not good enough for anybody, and you start doing negative things, says I'm not good enough if I don't care about myself, and it's not a good thing, not a good place to be. Then you start numbing the pain with things that don't really help, because you're only masking a problem. You don't face it head on, and then later on you develop another problem, and it spirals out of control quickly. And it's all because we felt like we were worthless, and it doesn't have to be that way. You're special, and I mean that. Like, it's not like a gimmick thing. Like, you are special. You are valuable. You're valuable to a lot of people. Keep pushing. Keep fighting those negative thoughts. You might be spit on and hurt. I'm telling you that you are valuable. Don't give up. Keep pushing. You can do it. All right, that's going to end this podcast. This is the first and pilot of the mental health, and just talking with you guys and trying to share some past experiences and some of my thoughts with you, and maybe help somebody. I really do, and if it really does help, make sure you mention say something in the comments, because those comments that really help me and motivate me to keep doing stuff like this, because I am going out of my comfort zone doing this stuff. But I feel like God put it upon my heart to talk to people, and just be there for people. Because I suffered a lot growing up with certain things, and I kind of want to use that pain that I went through to help others so they don't have to feel like they're alone like I did. And just want to make a difference out there, and I can use this platform to do it. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast.